They said it would never happen. They said the story had already peaked, that the sisterhood had run its course. But Tyler Perry just shattered every doubt, every whisper, and every rumor. Because Sistas is not only back, it's rewriting television history. Season 10 is officially here. And this isn't just another chapter. It's a landmark, a record-breaking declaration that the bond of sisterhood cannot be broken, no matter how many trials, heartbreaks, and betrayals come crashing down. For nearly a decade, audiences have laughed, cried, and held their breath through every twist that Sistas delivered. From kitchen table confessions to courtroom breakdowns, from broken promises to late-night reconciliations, this series has lived in the raw, messy, unforgettable spaces of life. And now, with the announcement of Season 10, Sistas is no longer just a show. It is a cultural milestone. It is the first Tyler Perry original to reach this staggering height. A testament not just to its storytelling, but to the undying loyalty of the fans who kept showing up week after week, year after year, demanding more. Think about it. 8 long years of building, shaping, and pushing these characters beyond their limits, and yet somehow, the fire hasn't burned out. Instead, it's roaring stronger than ever. When cast members like KJ Smith, Mignon Vaughn, Ebony Obsidian, and Novi Brown were spotted celebrating this milestone, it wasn't just a party, it was a victory parade. A food truck, a banner, a gathering that wasn't simply about hitting double digits, but about proving every critic wrong. Because they said a show about Black women living, loving, fighting, and failing together couldn't last this long. They said its voice would fade. And yet here we are, history made, record broken, a legacy sealed. But let's rewind, because understanding the power of Season 10 means remembering what brought us here. Sistas carved its place by daring to go where others would not. Each season walked a tightrope between laughter and tears, taking characters like Andy, Karen, Danny, Sabrina, and Fatima into storylines that were not just entertaining, but raw, real, and unsettling. This wasn't polished television where problems get solved in 30 minutes. This was life. Messy, painful, complicated, and through that, audiences found themselves. That is why Sistas endured. That is why it thrived. Now, with Season 10, the stakes are higher than ever. Tyler Perry is not playing it safe. This milestone is not about repeating old beats. It is about expansion, about digging deeper into the scars and secrets that have held this sisterhood together and torn it apart. Already, whispers of crossover moments with divorced Sistas are shaking the fandom. Imagine characters walking into each other's storylines. Imagine heartbreak in one series spilling over into the other. This isn't just about Season 10, it's about Tyler Perry building a television universe, a dynasty that doesn't just continue, but evolves. And let's not forget the burning questions left dangling. Will Andy's career finally collide with her heart in ways that force her to choose between power and love? Will Danny ever find a love that doesn't leave her broken, standing alone in an airport she built her dreams upon? Can Karen carry the weight of single motherhood while holding together the fragile pieces of her own happiness? And what about Sabrina, stuck at the crossroads of a job that no longer fits the fire within her? Fatima's mess, too, isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's about to drag everyone deeper into the storm. These aren't side plots. These are emotional bombs waiting to go off, and Season 10 promises to pull no punches. Tyler Perry knows his audience, and he knows the world is watching. This isn't just another premiere. It's a statement that Sistas will not end quietly. It will not fade politely into the night. It is here to shake the table, to test loyalties, to rip open wounds, and to remind every viewer why this series refused to die. And yet, beneath the drama, the betrayals, and the cliffhangers, the message is clear. This show has always been about women who refuse to give up on each other. Season 10 is a mirror held to friendships everywhere, a reminder that when the world tries to silence your story, you write a new one. That is why this milestone matters. That is why the fandom is louder, hungrier, more relentless than ever. So here we stand. Season 10 is coming. The trailer is on the horizon, the cast is still together. And the story is only beginning. Tyler Perry just made history, but make no mistake, The fight, the love, the heartbreak, and the laughter that defined Sistas for a decade are about to come back bigger, sharper, and louder. And when episode 1 finally drops, the only question left will be, are you ready to face the storm? Season 10 is not just about another premiere date, it's about a cultural shift, a statement written in bold ink that cannot be erased. For years, shows like Sistas were dismissed as niche, as too specific, as something that couldn't hold the mainstream. But look around now. This series is not only surviving, it's thriving, standing taller than most primetime dramas that fell after 3 or 4 seasons. This is bigger than ratings, bigger than contracts. This is history, and Tyler Perry knows it. That's why this season is being set up not just as entertainment, but as a television event. The cast, too, carries this weight. KJ Smith, Ebony Obsidian, Mignon Vaughn, Novi Brown, names that have become household staples for fans of the series, are not just actors anymore. They're storytellers, icons of this saga, women who have carried their characters through hell and back without losing their fire. Every reunion photo, every behind-the-scenes smile is fuel for the fandom, proof that the bond on screen mirrors the loyalty behind the cameras. And with the whispers of potential cameos, of new faces arriving to shake up old alliances, the energy around Season 10 is electric. But let's get real. This is not a simple celebration. When you hit a milestone like this, the expectations are suffocating. Fans are not just asking, what's next? They're demanding answers. They want stakes, they want closure, they want shockwaves that ripple across every character's journey. And Tyler Perry has no choice but to deliver. Because if there's one thing we know, it's that Perry doesn't play with his audience. He knows how to twist the knife, how to turn love into betrayal, how to build a friendship only to test it with fire. And Season 10 is promising to push those buttons harder than ever before. Already, speculation is boiling over. Social media is ablaze with theories. Who will make it out whole? And who will finally break? Some fans swear this is the season Danny finds a love worth her loyalty, while others insist Karen will rise from her struggles into true independence. And then there's the Fatima question, because every time her name surfaces, chaos follows. Her story has never been clean, never been quiet, and in Season 10, it might just explode into something none of us are ready for. And what about Andy? For years, her balancing act between career and heart has been a ticking time bomb. She stood tall in courtrooms, fought for justice, and carried herself with strength, but strength always comes at a cost. Will Season 10 finally demand a price too high for Andy to pay? Will the very thing that made her powerful become the chain that breaks her? Tyler Perry doesn't set up storylines without payoff, and Andy's arc is screaming for a collision between her ambition and her desire, between her success and her loneliness. This is what makes Season 10 more than just another cycle of drama. It's the climax of years of groundwork. Every single unresolved question, every heartbreak we thought was buried, every argument that felt unfinished. It's all coming back. Perry is not in the business of letting stories fade quietly. He revives them, reshapes them, spins them until they become something new. And with divorced Sistas now alive in the same universe, you can feel it. Season 10 is going to bleed into something bigger, something connected, something that feels less like a single show and more like an empire being built in real time. And yet, beneath all the speculation, beneath the trailers and the whispers, there's something undeniable: the emotional weight of what this milestone means. Because Season 10 is not just about fictional characters surviving betrayal and heartbreak. It's about real people, audiences, who see their lives mirrored in these stories. The woman fighting to hold her family together. The friend who can't seem to stop choosing the wrong partners. The career-driven fighter torn between ambition and love. These aren't just Tyler Perry's characters, they're reflections of us. And that's why the fandom clings to every cliffhanger, every confession, every painful goodbye. Because Sistas has always been more than just TV. It's been therapy. It's been validation. It's been a reminder that no one fights alone. So as we look toward the official trailer, the release date, and the premiere of Episode 1, one thing is clear: Season 10 is not arriving quietly. It's coming like a storm, roaring with 10 years of history behind it, fueled by a cast that refuses to dim, and driven by a creator who has just made television history. Tyler Perry has given us a decade of Sistas, but now the question burns hotter than ever. Will this season finally answer the questions we've been screaming for, or will it push us into even deeper chaos, setting up something bigger than we ever imagined? One thing is certain, the sisterhood has never been stronger, but never more fragile. Bonds will be tested, friendships may shatter, and every episode will feel like walking into a battlefield where love, loyalty, and survival collide. And when that first episode drops, when the lights dim and the story begins, fans across the world will sit on the edge of their seats, knowing that Season 10 isn't just a continuation, it's the beginning of something unstoppable. This is the moment where everything changes. 10 seasons, a record no one thought Tyler Perry could touch, let alone own. But Sistas has proven that when stories are built on truth, on raw emotions, on struggles that mirror the real world, they cannot be silenced. This season is more than an anniversary. It's a fight, a challenge to every show that burned out before it. It's Tyler Perry standing tall and declaring that the voice of these women is not only alive, it's louder than ever. But don't think for a second this means comfort. No, Season 10 is not a safe victory lap. Perry has never played by the rules, and he isn't starting now. This season is war. War against broken trust, against unresolved pain, against the very idea that a friendship can survive everything. We've seen this sisterhood bend, but now we will see if it breaks. And that is what makes this season terrifying and thrilling. Because every fan knows one truth. Perry does not hand out happy endings without first ripping his characters to pieces. The fandom feels it too. On forums, on social threads, everywhere, the buzz is deafening. Questions are multiplying like wildfire. Will Danny finally get the love story she deserves, or will she fall into heartbreak again? Can Karen truly rise as a mother while fighting off the demons of her past? Will Andy's ambition cost her everything, even the people she swore to protect? And what about Fatima, whose every decision has set off chaos that spreads like poison through the sisterhood? These aren't just character arcs, they are battles we've been watching for a decade. And now, in Season 10, the consequences are unavoidable. And then there's the bigger game. The whispers of crossover with divorced sisters are too loud to ignore. Cameos, crossovers, shared therapy sessions, even explosive reunions. If Perry is building a connected universe, then this milestone season is the gateway. Imagine cliffhangers that bleed into other shows, stories that don't end where you expect them to, but stretch into new timelines and fresh wounds. Season 10 isn't just about finishing a story, it's about multiplying it, amplifying it, and refusing to let the curtain fall. So what should fans expect when episode 1 finally drops? Expect heartbreak, expect betrayal, expect to question who you can trust, because in Tyler Perry's world, loyalty is never guaranteed. But also, expect fire. Expect love in its rawest, most desperate form. Expect laughter in the darkest hours, strength in the weakest moments, and hope where it feels impossible. Season 10 is not just about continuing the story, it's about proving why this story matters. Because at the heart of it all, Sistas has always been more than drama. It's been a mirror, a reminder that life is messy, friendship is hard, love is brutal, and survival is never clean. And yet, in the face of everything, these women keep standing. And so do the fans. That is why Season 10 is history. That is why Season 10 matters. And now it's your turn. Tell me, how do you want this storm to begin? In 3 words, drop your vision for the opening of Season 10. Is it loyalty under fire? Sisters never break? Or love turns deadly? Because the story belongs to all of us, and your voice matters more than ever. Make no mistake, this is not the end. This is the fire that burns brighter with every season. This is Tyler Perry's Sistas, and Season 10 is about to prove that when women stand together, nothing, not even history itself, can hold them back.